everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and the Tea. So glad you decided to stop by and give me a watch and see what kind of tea I am spilling. I really, really appreciate it. But before we get into the tea, why haven't you subscribed? I know you want to. Go right down here in your settings and go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload. And give me a thumbs up to fight the algorithm that is so determined for this channel to not to survive. And I am equally determined that it will. So you help me out by giving me a thumbs up. I really, really would appreciate it. All right, let's get into this tea. First up is Miss Adele. She was recently in Munich during a concert, and one of her fans yelled to her to marry him. And Miss Adele kindly told him that she could not marry him because she was already getting married. And since she is engaged to A-lister sports agent Rich Paul, I am assuming that that's who she is going to marry. And so to me, I hope they're happy. They seem like a wonderful couple who love one another. She has money, and he definitely has money because he is a sports agent for LeBron James and a whole host of other people. So he is very, very successful. And we all know how successful Miss Adele is. So it has to be love. It's not about the coins. And so I just wish them well. I do. All right, moving on. Next is the Fugees. The Fugees had planned this big tour around Lauryn Hill's anniversary of her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I think it's been like 27 years since she released that album, so they were doing this tour with her, Wyclef John, and Prize Michelle. You know, the whole group was coming together for this. Well, they ended up having to cancel a lot of their U.S. dates. And Lauryn Hill got on social media to address it. She said that the reason were why the dates had been um, canceled was due to poor ticket sales. And she said the poor ticket sales were due to her past behavior of canceling, um, at the last minute performances. And she said it's been over sensationalized and that they're judging her from last year. Maybe she had a lot of stuff going on. But what she has to understand is people, when they buy these tickets, they're centered around a lot of different occasions. It can be somebody's birthday, it can be somebody's anniversary, it can be somebody's um, graduation. And when you cancel, you spoil a lot of people's plans. And so people are just not willing to take the risk on spoiling their child's birthday or their mother's and father's anniversary because you just don't feel like performing. So she is reaping what she has sowed in the past. And it's going to take a whole lot for people to trust her again that they can plan their occasions around her concerts. And so, yeah, this is the results of bad behavior. So, I love the Fugees. So, don't get me wrong. I'm not coming down on them, but it is what it is. I know if I have my anniversary or my birthday planned around a concert and then all of a sudden the person cancels at the last minute like they need a baker, we got a problem there. It is a problem there because we know Auntie Anita will cancel in a heartbeat. And we saw all the videos last year of people Mother's Day. I think I know it was this past Mother's Day where people was pissed because they showed up. They even showed up, and she canceled at the very last minute. So people have a problem with that, and they starting to become real leery of people who don't show up and be consistent when it comes to um, performances. And can you blame them? I don't think so. Moving on, we are talking about Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, of course, was the women's basketball player that was in prison in Russia. And she was sentenced to 9 years because she had some cannabis oil in her luggage. And that was prior to the Ukraine war. So she really had to go through it. She stayed in prison for 9 months before they did a prison exchange. And then she was released. Well, she was part of the U.S. women's team that actually won the gold at the Olympics. And she was on the podium and she broke down in tears because it had been 612 days since she was released. And now here she was standing on the podium representing her country with the gold medal. And she said it was not lost on her, the moment that she said that her country had did so much for her, and now to stand there and represent her country, it was overwhelming for her. And it's touching for me. So all I can say is congratulations to all our Olympic athletes. The Olympics were awesome. I watched a lot of it, and America showed up and showed out. We was the top medal recipients, and America just came not to play when it came to the Olympics. And thank God for Brittany Griner being able to be there, and I'm so happy for her. All right, moving on. Next is Mr. Tyler Perry. A lot of people gave Tyler a hard time when he released Divorce in Black. They were saying it's the same old tired script, and even Tyler, pushed back on that and said, these uppity Negroes, they don't understand my work, and I am going to continue to do what I do. And if they have a problem with it, too bad. Pretty much that's what he said. Well, Tyler was right. Tyler's movie was highly successful on Amazon Prime, and it brought in more Prime subscriptions than any other movie that was shown in July. And I think it was like 498 million watch hours in the first 4 days of its release. So Tyler knows what he's doing. Leave him alone. And yeah, and it came in number 3 in streaming, right behind Beverly Hills Cop, XOL. So it did really, really well. And all those uppity Negroes that he was talking about, I guess they were brown. All right, moving on. We got an update on Mr. Travis Scott. My last coffee and the tea. I reported on Travis Scott going to jail over there in Paris, fighting his own bodyguard, and then getting into it with the security guard at his hotel. Well, Mr. Travis Scott was released the very next day. No charges was brought against him, but I still stick to what I said. His mama needs to come and get him. There's something going on with Travis. He is getting in too many scrapes, and he is fighting the people who's supposed to be protecting him. So Travis needs to chill, and his mom needs to come and see about him because he is spiraling. And if anybody knows anything about watching a person to spiral, it's me. I am a professional at this particular thing is what called psychology. And so, yeah, he is spiraling, and his family needs to intervene because he's drinking a lot, he's getting arrested, he's showing behaviors of somebody in trouble, in psychological trouble. And his family need to gather around him and love on him and find out what's going on with him. My opinion. All right, moving on to our segment that we do every time, and that would be, and I bring it every time, I bring it, and that would be stupid people doing stupid stuff. If I don't do anything, watching my videos to the end is worth my segment on stupid people doing stupid stuff. And our stupid person of the day is this guy right here. This guy right here is an Indiana man who blames the dog for infant's fatal brain injury, now charged with murder. 21-year-old, not 21-year-old, 20-month-year-old girl, 20-month-old girl. I'll get it right in a minute. Just be patient with me. 21-month-old girl brain reportedly urinated and was leaking through her ears, leading to an investigation and an alleged confession after the injury was deemed suspicious. 25-year-old man from Indiana has been charged with murder and aggravated battery, resulting in the death after his girlfriend's 21-month-old child suffered a fatal injury in his care. Basically, what he did was he said the little girl was in the bathtub, and after all the bubbles was out, he wanted her to get out of the tub. The little girl did not want to get out of the tub. She's 21 months old. She's not even two yet. And so she says she started to flail around and be resistant to what he was saying. So he shook her. Say he shook her for 20 seconds. And he said this is not the first time he had shook her. Well, this time the little girl was injured. But he wanted to tell the story that the little girl was on the ottoman and the dog came by and knocked the little baby down. And that's how she got her injuries. Trying to blame it on the family dog. And I'm sure the dog was trying to protect the baby when he was shaking him. But I digress. Then, when they took the baby to the hospital, it was clear to see that that injury was not done by a child falling off an ottoman, that it was in line with shaken infant syndrome. And the doctors reported it. He went to jail. He later confessed in a letter to the mother, and he later told, um, the investigators that he shook her for 20 seconds, and it wasn't the first time he shook her. I don't think his intent was to hurt her, but he did it. And so now he is charged with murder. Tell me that's not stupid. Tell me you don't know how to control a 21-month-old child who doesn't want to get out the bathtub. And you lose your temper to the point where you shake them so hard that their brains start leaking out of their ear. What is wrong with you? So yeah, that's our stupid. This guy right here is our stupidest person doing stupid things. And that poor little child. And the mother said the mother would leave the child with him while she worked. So sad. All right, y'all. That's Coffee and the Tea for today. See y'all next time. Bye.